Hello, and welcome to TaylorMade Book Creations Read Alouds. Today we'll be reading The Hip Hop Chessmaster, written by Roland Taylpr, illustrated by Bethany Root. Forward. Vaughn is a popular kid in school because of his lyrical prowess, but no one knows his secret passion for the art of chess. One day, his worlds collide when he must make a choice: perform at the school talent show with his crew or attend the regional championship chess match. Can he live in both worlds and still keep the respect from his friends and his family? The Hip Hop Chessmaster is a tale of a young middle school boy who finds himself torn between two loves, hip hop and chess. What will he decide? Be a rapper, be a chess player, or truly become the Hip Hop Chessmaster? Chapter 1. Opening. Hi, my name is Vaughn. Some people know me as MC Ponzi. However, there is another side, a side of me that most people don't know. This is my story.
Yes, y'all, and you don't stop. MC Ponzi and you don't stop. Yes, y'all, and you don't stop. MC Ponzi will be the sure shot. Come on.
Man, Dad, I really love that old school hip hop sound. I used to love her by Common Sense is so cool. I can most definitely use that in my flow. It's what makes me different from the rest of the rappers out here nowadays. That touch of old school flavor, said Vaughn. I have to tell you, son, you remind me of myself when I was your age, and I'm glad that you've discovered this talent. But I don't want hip-hop to totally consume you. I want you to be a well-rounded young man, Dad said affectionately. Take your chess, for example. It's what makes you different, and in a good way. I know it isn't the cool thing to do, but it's something that was passed down from Gramps to me, and now from me to you. It's a Robinson tradition. You mean like passing down hip-hop to me? Asked Vaughn. Sort of, Dad replied. Don't get me wrong, son. I love hip-hop, but I also know that chess can open up so many more opportunities for you. It trains your mind to think strategically and provokes a totally unique approach to how you conduct yourself in stressful and competitive situations. Plus, look at how good you are. I mean, they don't give away all those trophies you have in your room just to anyone. Yeah, Dad, I hear you, answered Vaughn. To me, hip-hop is the same. It exercises the creative side of the brain. Not only is it entertaining, but it really helps me with building my vocabulary and makes me want to read more. In fact, I sometimes find myself reading the dictionary just to make my rhymes more intense. And also to get your English grades up too, correct? Dad interrupted. Of course, said Vaughn. Trust me, Dad, I know how important school is. Hip-hop and chess are both things that I care about. And I know that if I let my grades slip, well, let's just say I don't plan on letting that happen. So, son, if chess is so important to you, and you are that good at it, then why don't you tell your friends and share it with them, just like you do hip-hop, MC Ponzi, asked Dad with a smirk. Dad, I guess it's like the Fresh Prince said, parents just don't understand, said Vaughn. Wow, son, I really have to stop letting you listen to my old school tapes, Dad chuckled. No way, said Vaughn. I told you, that's what makes my hip-hop style special and different. Besides, my friends wouldn't understand chess. They're more into sports like football, basketball, and baseball. I like all of those, but even if they found out that I was good at chess, I still don't think they would truly accept it. And that is why we always go to tournaments out of town? Dad asked. Exactly. It would totally ruin my rep, Vaughn replied. Your what? Asked Dad. He continued. Son, you're only 12 years old. You haven't lived long enough to have a rep. Dad looked at Vaughn and saw himself in his adolescent child. Thinking better than to give his son another lecture, he instead gently placed his hand on Vaughn's shoulder. Hey, it's getting late, and you have school tomorrow. Head to bed, and I'll see you in the morning. I love you. by Hip Hop Chessmaster. I love you too, Dad, said Vaughn. As he lay in his bed, he thought about what his dad said. He thought it would be nice if he felt his friends accepted him for his love of chess, like they did his lyrical skills. But all of that aside, Vaughn had two things on his mind: tomorrow's math test and the school talent show coming up in 2 weeks. He has been working on this song for a few months in preparation for the said event and was very anxious to perform it in front of his classmates, especially Sherry. Vaughn walked bleary-eyed down the crowded hallway filled to the brim with dozens of voices strung together like knotted electrical wires. With every couple of steps, he honed in on a conversation, but was too foggy to listen on. Vaughn didn't remember the ride to school, but seeing Mike towering over everyone at the end of the hallway signaled that he was there. Rodney Matthews accidentally steps on the back of his tennis shoes, followed by a "my bad." He didn't even look behind him. No sooner had he stuffed his heel back into his sneaker did he see Chris Chambers, his best friend. "Yo, Vaughn, what's up, man?" shouts Chris. "You ready for this killer math test today? I've been sweating it all weekend." Vaughn gathered himself enough to reply, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm ready for it, but I have bigger things to worry about," said Vaughn. "Like what?" Chris asked. "Like what? Like the spring talent show, that's what," replied Vaughn. "Man, come on. You know no one here can touch your flow. Everybody's doing the same tired stuff we all hear on the radio. But you're different. It's good, and it works. Plus, during lunch, you always win the freestyle battles," Chris ranted. "Not the last one," Vaughn said disheartened. "Yeah, but that was luck. Everyone thinks Troy, MC Amazing, wrote that beforehand just waiting for the chance to face you. Don't even sweat it. You know you're the best. Let me hear some of what you got prepared for the show." "All right," said Vaughn. "It's a new concept, but I'm going to let you peep a little bit of it. So here we go." Vaughn began to bop his head to a beat only he could hear. "Now in life you have to make moves like a chess game. You always have to think 3 moves ahead. Even pawns have a role to play if you want to remain, and if not, you hear a checkmate, losing instead. Checkmate." Chris stood in amazement. "Vaughn, as always, that was hot. But what's up with the chess game stuff? I don't get it. You don't even play chess." "It's so weird," Vaughn thought to himself. "This is my best friend, but I don't feel like I can confide in him or any other person that my second passion next to hip-hop is chess. I mean, he's my boy, and he should have my back no matter what. But can I take that chance? I have a good thing going on here at school with my rapping. No issues from the older kids because they respect my flow. And the girlies dig me because I stand out by doing something cool. I can do something that not a lot of other kids in school can do, at least not as well, in my opinion, as me. They like that, you know? The girlies. But it's only if something's cool. For example, take Charles Taylor. He's cool because he always has the latest pair of Jordans. It's so hard to believe that Jordans are still so insanely popular since my father talked about having them when he was my age, eons ago. I mean, I remember people wanted the latest design so badly that they camped outside of the shoe store overnight. And at one mall, they actually caused a riot. Incredible. And Charles has to have like 50 pairs. Then there's Mike Kepner. Mike plays for our basketball team. He's only a 6th grader, but he is a starter on our basketball team. And I know he's got to be at least 6 feet, 4 inches easily. He is taller than any other kids in school and even most of the teachers, all but Mr. Brooks, our gym teacher. Rumor has it Mr. Brooks used to play in the NBA but got hurt after only 3 years and had to retire. Mr. Brooks is 6 feet 8 inches and can touch the basketball rim without even jumping. He's always telling us about the importance of finishing school because you never know what life may throw your way. He and my father went to school together, and whenever he catches me freestyling, he says that I remind him of my father, who had a hip-hop group back in the day. Mr. Brooks is mad cool. But back to Mike. He's been playing b-ball since he was about 5, It's so funny because he always carries a basketball with him wherever he goes. Books in one hand, basketball in the other. It's funny because you have to respect him for his dedication. He's one of the best players in the county, and every once in a while, you'll see college scouts at our games. College scouts. Man, that is crazy. So naturally, the girls flock to him. See, he's different, but in a cool way. There is, however, one exception to this rule at school. Barry McKinley. Barry is a certifiable, undeniable nerd. Not that there's anything wrong with being a nerd. I'm not saying that at all. But if you look up nerd in the dictionary, you might see his face. I mean, quiet, glasses, and always wears his shirts tucked in and buttoned all the way up to the top. He's a sixth grader just like me. But here's the reason why this guy gets attention from the girlies. He's famous. Yep. World famous, in fact. I'm not talking famous because he's won all of the Math 24 contests since fourth grade countywide, or the fact that he always wins first place in our STEM fairs. I can remember when he won in our last year of elementary school. He built this life-size, voice-activated Lego robot that looked just like President Obama. It was freaky how real it looked. Barry even got the opportunity to travel to Washington, D.C. to show the robot to the president. But that's not why he's world famous. Nope. Barry is world famous because outside of all these accomplishments, Barry has a very unique talent. He has memorized the number pi. You know, March 14th, 3.14, the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. I didn't think it was such a big deal until I looked it up on the internet. It turns out that memorizing pi is an international phenomenon. They have all kinds of categories and age ranges. The actual calculation of pi is infinite. I think a computer was able to count up to 5 trillion digits. The world record holder is from China, and he was able to memorize over 67,000 digits. It took him just over a whole day to recite the string of numbers. That is almost unbelievable if it hadn't really happened. Barry isn't the world record holder. However, he does hold the North American record for memorizing the most digits of pi for his age range, the 11 to 16 bracket. He received a huge trophy and $5,000. I couldn't believe it. This is a ton of money for a kid our age. I know that Charles probably kept thinking of how many pair of Jordans he could buy with that money. I was so impressed that I actually tried to start memorizing pi, but the highest I got to was 20 digits. Barry actually memorized 300 digits. Although he won the $5,000, his parents only let him spend $100 of it. The rest of it went to a college fund. I mean, I know college is important from everything my parents say, but man, what a bummer. Taking the time to memorize all those numbers for just $100 just doesn't seem fair. But Barry got more than prize money that day. He got noticed by the teachers, by the other kids in school, and now, surprisingly enough, by the girlies. But this is rare and more than likely would never happen. Without these accolades, Barry would be in the category they put school safeties, tutors, and kids in the chess club. The uncool zone. This is a zone I've tried hard to stay out of, especially being at the bottom of the totem pole in middle school as a sixth grader. Now you see my dilemma. Not only could I not tell my best friend Chris, but anyone for that matter. If anyone discovered that I was a chessie, a kid in the chess club that no one feels comfortable talking to because they always relate everything back to a chess game. The epitome of uncool. It could potentially erase all of the positive reputation I've built up with my rhyming skills. And that rep would disappear fast. Faster than that guy who jumped from space and broke the sound barrier fast. I could see it now. The news would roll throughout the school quicker and more thunderous than an avalanche. They would make an announcement over the school intercom system.
Attention all students. MC Ponzi plays chess and shall now and forever be stripped of his cool status.
Instead of people cheering at the sound of my lyrical skills, their mouths would now fall mute. No clapping, just laughing and jeering. It would be a nightmare. And worst of all, Troy, MC Amazing, would now reign as the top MC in the school. I could never let that happen. And so, my secret passion for chess will remain intact.